if you're thinking I'm the kind of guy that rocks up to a Good Omens interview with
the book,
well done.
we'd be correct.
Yeah.
I'm back.
I can see that.
So after such a successful and well-received first series, what gives you guys?
Why risk it?
Why risk it?
What gives you the right?
What gives you the cojones to do another one?
I know.
How dare you?
It's terrible. When I wrote it, well, no, I mean that's the thing, really. It's Neil and Terry's baby.
Yeah.
And I'd always known. Well, we'd always known that they'd gone beyond the world of the first book. In fact, there's stuff that's not in the first book in the first series. So Gabriel is a character, who's not there. So so we'd always known that there was a lot more.
There were ideas, there were threads.
Exactly. And they even had a name for a sequel. 668, The Neighbour of the Beast, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
At the risk of reading from the scripture, this is what's in the hardback copy of Good Omens. Why isn't there a sequel, Neil?
Yeah.
Well, we know how the sequel goes. We played around with the idea whilst we were on tour. We even discussed a few scenes, but we could never quite work up the enthusiasm. It'd have been fun, we'd split the cash, but we both had other things to do.
Yes. It's very much how we felt, isn't it? We'll split the cash.
Yeah.
And run.
And if we've got nothing else on.
Well, exactly.
Yeah. And you kind of enjoy each other's company?
I mean, enjoy is a strong word.
We're very good at faking it.
Actors.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
When, outside of a show's context or the film's context, have you felt physically, visually, the silliest? Because I think in this show, there have to be moments, green screen, full orange wig hair, that you go, no one take a photo of me right now. No one.
The very first, the opening scene of season 2 is set in space. And we're dressed as sort of old-fashioned.
I mean, that makes it sound like a sort of an episode of Blake Seven or something. It's not sci-fi space, is it? No, there's nothing. I love Blake Seven. But what I mean is, it's not like...
Are you stepping up to say sci-fi's rubbish at this point?
No. Of course not. No, but what I'm saying is...
I don't know who this is.
David is making it sound like it's like... Aziraphale and Crowley, you're in a rocket ship.
It is set in space. The first scene is set in space. You can't... It's just factual.
But not like Space 1999.
Just space.
It's pure, undiluted space.
It's set in space. In fact, it is undiluted space. And for that, we were dressed as a traditional angel in a sort of 90s.
Yes, we weren't in silver spandex.
We were in 90s.
We were in
90s. And we were strapped to make this floating in space. And they didn't have this in Blake 7. We were strapped onto these gurneys and moved up and down.
I had a jetpack.
At least it's not Jon Hamming into a room, full ham.
You know what it's like when you don't know anything at all, and yet you're totally certain that everything would be better if you were just near one particular person?
No, certainly not.
That was never in the script.
No, he just turned up on set.
That's how he showed up.
I've had an idea, guys.
Yes.
No, there's lots to look forward to.
Sorry.
And lots to look back on.
This second series having a little bit more wiggle room in terms of where you might be able to take the characters, I think it's fair enough to say. Do you feel like you have more room to kind of fudge here and fudge there and really muck about with the characters now?
I mean, every day when we start, I like to, first of all, say, Neil, I've got no interest in hearing what you're going to say. This is what I think should happen.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, when you've got Neil Gaiman writing it, you sort of just go, off you go, mate.
The last thing you want to do is start putting in your ideas.
Yeah.
You don't want to limit anything that's going to come out of his brain.
It's like when Ringo says, no. No.
Yesterday, I have notes.
Listen to what I've come up with, boys.
There's too much guitar in this.
Yeah.
More drums.
Yeah. I mean, I think one of the things about Neil that is so wonderful is that he is so open and generous with ideas.
Yes.
And he's so not precious about what he's written. He is very respectful of what he and Terry created and is probably a bigger fan than any other fan. But he's not precious about it, and he's very open to collaboration. In fact, he's probably the most collaborative person I'd ever come across in my life.
Absolutely.
So he loves watching what other people bring to the table, not just actors, but designers, You know, everyone. And then I think he takes from that and is influenced by that. So it's very collaborative in that sense.
But if we influenced where the characters went in season 2, it was sort of circumstantially. It was it was sort of by the act of what happened during series 1 and getting to know Neil and getting to know each other. I mean, but the great joy for us is turning up to these wonderful scripts and going, oh, I get to take this character here now. What a lark.
What would you say the fans have responded most to from the first series? When you meet them at Comic-Cons or on social media or what have you, are there moments from the first series where they love talking about that scene?
Well, I think people really enjoy the going through history stuff, don't they? I mean, we thoroughly.
We certainly do. Well. There's just something about the characters and their relationship, though, that seems to have just caught fire.
I won't read some of the stories I've glanced upon.
Right.
Yes, fan fiction that's quite...
Oh, I see. Well, that's not for us to read.
Oh, I read it all.
Oh, you should. You're right, most of it.
I write most of it.
But it's lovely to see, and I have seen more than I can count, Aziraphale and Crowley's showing up, people dressed, and always in twos, always in pairs.
Yes.
You know, and that's lovely, and that seems to absolutely encapsulate what the whole show's about, I think.
Tattoos, fan art.
Seen a couple of tattoos.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you get fans in the street quoting lines or just pointing and staring? Because you two together can't really walk down the street.
Michael doesn't walk anywhere. So
Those days are long gone.
Jetpack.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep, that's fair.
Well, I get a lot of to the world. People,
Oh, yes,
people
nice.
Like to, yeah.
Yeah.
And you go too fast, Crowley. Oh. There's a lot of that gets jumped around.
What about, and this is a kind of BAFTA-winning question, so just send it my way.
Wow.
Would you say these characters are in your top 3 most fun characters you've ever played? Because they strike me as being, I'd probably play these characters forever if I could.
This is like on, what's that show when people have to say whether they want to date each other again? You go first. Top 3?
I mean,
Number 2, 1.
it'd be a weird scenario to say it wasn't.
Yeah, I agree.
This situation.
Yeah.
To start sort of, well, I mean, it's sort of low
4.
20s.
Yeah. 18?
But, no, we did have an irresponsible amount of fun.
Yes.
It not really like working.
No.
I mean, I very much hope that we eventually get to, in one way or another, in one form or another, get to play them just very, very old. And it may well be. I mean, we joke about doing a theatrical tour.
And swapping.
I'm not joking. I'm not joking about that.
No.
It's a lovely little retirement plan.
I know.
I'm dead keen on Good Omens 666. I think it's just there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Think about it.
I
Post-apocalyptic.
mean, part,
Yeah.
like Good Omens, 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 666. I mean, that's a long running series. That's longer than Frasier.
Big words. If a bad joke's worth telling, 666.
Telling over and over again.
Tell it over and over and over.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm going to ask you one last favour as I wrap things up.
Yeah.
Which is, I have at the front of this book one Mr. Neil Gaiman. He signed it and he said, as he often does, Ali, have a good doomsday. Would you care to deface?
I heard the other day that someone went to interview George Harrison, and the person who interviewed him said, would you mind signing this record, whatever it was, the White Album or whatever. And he went, do you want them all? And they used to all write each other's all sign each other's names.
Wow.
Because they do it so much.
Wow, do you want to do mine?
I've
Just
got to say,
Neil,
please-
just get Neil to do that.
Could you please sign as your man?
Yeah.
There you go, David. You can. I'll be very lucky if this has any ink.
On a different page.
You
Neil.
pick your own page. Deface as you will.
Yeah, look at that. I do a little
Oh,
halo.
I
there.
can. Oh, that's given me an idea. I have to think about it.
And then while I'm here, I'm going to do the super unprofessional thing of asking for a photograph, if that's allowed.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Yeah.
There we go. That's perfect.
That's nice, isn't it?
Beautiful. Would you mind helping me out?
Do you see? Do you see what we've done there, Ali?
Oh!
Thank you.
And yours is D for...
Thank you. I'm going to kneel behind you, no joke.
Sure. I should turn my M into wings.
Oh,
this is...
Could that eyes like an
Yeah.
Could, yeah.
Just be careful of the poster.
Yeah, no, I'm here to ruin all your very hard work. Sweet.
Lovely.
Guys, as you may have worked
There you
out,
go.
big fan.
Cheers,
Oh,
Ali.
great.